So this is how I make my kombucha and how I keep them. I have here 3 5-gallon jars, and these are pretty old. My Scolby is probably 7 years old, and I shave it off once in a while. I give it away. Anyway, this one is a week old. I just started this one off of this one. And this is how I take care of them. I close the spout so that we don't have little bugs flying in, laying eggs. We do have little flies. Yeah, they like the fermented smell, so I keep mine always covered with elastic, nice and tight. And I change these, I don't know, 2-3 weeks, and then I wash, get new ones. This is glass, and this is non-metal, so mine is plastic. When I am about to prepare my individual kombuchas, I put them in little jars like that. Once I buy a regular kombucha, I save the bottle. I like to make my own sometimes. When I'm about to prepare these smaller ones, I open each of my containers and I taste them. So we're gonna have to hope for the best. It looks pretty fermented to me, but I will taste it and see how it tastes. This is pretty fermented. It tastes a little bit, starting to taste like vinegar, and that's where I don't like anymore. So you can drink kombucha straight from the bottle, a little bit, a little cup every day. But I make mine, I flavor mine with grape juice. And before I start making my bottles, I prepare tea to replace the kombucha that I'm going to use. So I always have some tea ready. To make my tea, I use Lipton, 100% natural. It's not organic. Ideally, it would be organic. I'm gonna make a gallon because I have 3 gallons over here. I'll probably use about a gallon. So I want to use a gallon to replace the tea that I'm taking. This is my fermented tea. I need to pour some new tea in there. Since I'm making a gallon, I got 16 little bags already ready to go. I'm gonna put in hot water. And then once the tea is ready, I put it inside this pitcher. It's a whole gallon pitcher. And I put 2 cups of sugar. The sugar's already in there. So I'm gonna brew my tea. I already used organic sugar for all my teas. So when my tea is ready, I will pour in here. It will be room temperature by the time I pour in here. And in the meantime, I will show you how I actually make a brand new bottle, my individual grape bottle of kombucha, flavored kombucha. So this is the tea, it's brewing. I'm making 8 cups. This is my tea bag here. I wanted to let you know before we make the grape kombucha is that I don't use tap water. I use reverse osmosis water. When I used to make with tap water, it would smell really bad. So now I use reverse osmosis. I buy it. I'm also going to try for the first time making a kombucha inside this type of jar. I've never made it before. But not everybody has the advantage of having so many jars or bottles. So I will try this one this time, and maybe I'll let you know if I got time to make another video. So I'm gonna let my tea brew, and I'll get the materials to make my individual grape kombucha. Here's our process here for making grape kombucha. So I already have one ready. Here's what I do. I take my funnel. I actually cut my funnel a little wider on the bottom so I can get the sugar going really quickly. It's just 1/2 teaspoon of that organic. Shake it off, move on. until I get all of them filled all the way to the end. And that's my last one. Now I go back to the beginning and I'm gonna pour my grape juice. So what grape juice do I use? When I can find organic grape juice, I use it too. This time I have 100% grape juice, and then I put about this much, whatever that much is, just a little bit. Let's check. Yeah, about there. So 2 fingers high, even less. If you have thick fingers, maybe a little less. Then I move on to the next one. And I do that all the way to the end. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, we're gonna do that all the way to the end. As I said, I was going to try making one out of this little jar. I have no sugar, and here comes my grape juice. Let's see what happens. So now I'm gonna fill in my jars. I decided that this first one is the one that I'm gonna use. It's well fermented. I'm going to mix the sugar a little bit, and I go under my jar and I fill it. And there's a little SCOBY hanging there. And I will do the same for all of them. Okay, and as you can see, my my kombucha is going down, and that's where my new tea is gonna come in. So come back soon. Okay, my bottles are all done, and I'm going to do my last one. Now I like to leave a little bit of room, so there's room for the big explosion that sometimes happens when it's really, really fizzy. And then my last one that I'm gonna try here for the first time, and as you can see, my tea is going down like crazy. See? So I gotta replace that with my new tea. I am going to prepare it. Before we prepare this tea, this is a bottle that I closed up. This is pretty much done. The sugar is almost dissolved, and I tag it since it was jar number 1. I'm gonna put it over here. I'm gonna remove these guys because they are, these are fermented. These go in the fridge now, and I'll put the new ones in. Okay, it's really high tech, and I will change this date to today's date, and we should have all these bottles go over there. All right, so this is my tea. It's been sitting there for more than 5 minutes. You only need 5, and I'm going to pour into my pitcher with 2 cups of sugar. And after that, I will complete this whole pitcher with cold water, and it should be room temperature and ready to fill my kombucha jar to start brewing again. All right, I'm back. My tea is ready. It's a gallon. I am going to pour inside my container. I like to not fruit flies like the smell of the fermented tea. So I try to keep it open as little as possible. And this is my new batch. Not quite full yet, but I can make some more and add. So my new kombucha is done. Next time I make, I'll make with number 2 if it's fermented well, and then 3. So my shelves are empty, 2 and 3, but I'm gonna work a little bit at a time. Here I used this part of the lid, but it's not the metal, it's covered. So I'm gonna try this way. I'm gonna close it nice and tight. I also, if you're gonna use kombucha bottles, make sure that you match the lid with the original bottle. I have tried using this one with this brand. It doesn't work. With this brand, doesn't work. They look white, but inside they are different. And I guess this difference makes sense. They were leaking, they were fermenting and becoming really fizzy, and just coming out of the bottle. So I now pay attention to, I even know which bottle goes with which lid. And so the last thing is I'm going to close these up, and here's my new shelf with a new date, 23rd. And I want to talk about the last thing is I have used several bottles. I have these two. I bought these before. They do not work well for me. Maybe some other people have been using it. Maybe I don't know. They don't seem to hold. They don't seem to hold well. So I do have friends that use these kinds. Maybe I bought the wrong kind. Maybe I should buy a different kind. But you know, this is I like these kinds of bottles, the old ones that after I drink, I wash, I sanitize them in a dishwasher, hot water, and I reuse them. If you have any questions, any part of this process that I didn't talk about, let me know. Maybe I'll make a little video about your questions if I have time. Okay, take care. Bye.